Yo, we are at Rabil Co. HQ, going for a walk and talk. Hashtag Ask Paul, episode 38. Believe it or not, studies show that taking a walk to brainstorm, or in our case, sometimes talk about business or media, is actually really beneficial to stimulation. So we do this a lot. Who did it? You or Neil prepared the questions?
Me. Andrew always does it.
Andrew always does it.
Send all complaints to Neil at Rabil Companies, though.
Oh, you're throwing emails out now. Andrew prepared this week's questions, and they're going to alternate reading them to me, and I'll give you my answer. Number one, Andrew.
Adam Kremenka writes, hashtag Ask Paul. How was playing with Curtis Dixon?
Great question, Adam. Curtis Dixon is one of the best Canadian attackmen in the world. One of the best attackmen in the world. The leading goal scorer in NLL this past season. So while I've only played with him for a couple of games, I'm really looking forward to figuring out his movement patterns off ball and on ball so we can work better together. But I'm really excited. Curtis. Neil, number two.
Andrew Campbell writes, hashtag Ask Paul, why the warp?
Great question. So you just saw Wednesday's video. I'm doing product testing on the Warp Bowl. And what I've said before and believe this to be true, I think innovation in our sport is great, particularly when it comes to technology. And Warrior has invested in these huge 3D knitting machines to customize pockets, where I think the long game is beneficial to all players, where you can have a pocket that you know is exactly for you, that's consistent, and that's what we're working on. So I'm a part of the R&D for that, and I'm developing one that's right for me.
Do you want this personal politics one?
Bring it.
Do you allow personal politics to affect your business decisions? For example, working with a company that focuses a lot of resources on being eco-friendly, or not doing business with a company that has questionable labor practices?
So that's a good question. And I wouldn't just broadly paint it as politics. I think it has a lot to do with authenticity. And we look to partner with companies that we believe in, that think similarly to us in business and personally. So yes, stuff like eco-friendliness is important to me. Stuff like fair labor practices are important to us. Equality across the board, whether it's gender, race, sexual orientation. We are super opposed to discrimination of any form. So all that kind of stuff factors into our decisions in working with companies, whether it's those that we endorse or those that we invest in.
Hashtag Rabil sticker.
Boom. Side of the office. This guy's been up against a lot of weather. And there he is.
He's got grit.
Comment below if you want a Rabil sticker. And email Neil at Rabil Companies.
Joe Bianche says, hashtag Ask Paul, hashtag Notification Squad, hashtag Chet Beast, hashtag Grip and Drip. Would you rather get shat on by Myles Jones or get Tombstone by the Undertaker?
He's going out his defiance. That look of disbelief on the face of the Undertaker has turned into a look of rage.
Ooh, man. I really like Myles, and he can shoot the ball hard, but would not want to get Tombstone by Taker. So I'll get in the net. I'll get in between the pipes for Myles. I'll get in between the pipes.
KRUNCH with a K writes, hashtag Late Notification Squad, hashtag Ask Paul. Where do you see yourself in a year's time? P.S. Keep up the great videos.
Ah, well, thank you so much. That's a great question. Where do we see ourselves in a year's time? Hopefully in a year's time, our focus remains somewhat similar. So performance on field, we have the World Games in 2018 next summer. Performance in the boardroom is what we're calling it on our podcast. So hopefully that thing continues to grow. We're gonna continue to invest in media, build more content like this, and getting spied on, and continue our event strategy, like the Rabil Tour, Defensive Academy, Goalie Academy, Rabil Tournament, Rabil Overnight. There's a lot of stuff coming, so stay tuned.
Final question.
Final question.
Nope, that, you know, it does it for you. Go ahead.
Kids Perfect writes, hashtag Ask Paul, hashtag Fear the Beard, hashtag Notification Squad, hashtag Go Zards. If you could take 3 things to an island besides a lacrosse stick, what would they be?
There's that question, and I've thought about this before. So here's my answer. I'm gonna take my phone. I'm gonna bring a solar-powered charger, and I'm going to bring an airplane.
Do you have an airplane license?
I don't, but I think I could figure it out. You guys want to know why I'm gonna bring an airplane?
I can bring an airplane.
Get the off the island.
We have to go back!